Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for ICONversations. Today, we have 5 of our amazing icons who are going to bring a freight train of knowledge for you today. If you haven't heard of ICON or ICONversations and you are watching this on YouTube, first of all, smash that like button. Second of all, these icons only represent the top 3 to 6% of earners in the company. And today, from South Carolina, we have Jeanette Womble. From Maryland, we have Deanne Melnick. From New York, we have Debbie Renna-Hines. From Tennessee, we have Marty Burnett. And keeping it sunny in sunny California, we have Sunny Randir Singh. Sunny, take it away, my man.
And thank you so much. Good morning, EXP world. I am Sunny Singh from Southern California. And I'm so fortunate today to moderate this panel. And with this four super ladies of EXP world. And they are, I will start with, first of all, I will give my introduction. I expect all 4 of you to give me your name, year in business, and place of business. So my name is Sunny. I'm in business from last 4.5 years, with EXP 3.5 years, and place of business is Southern California. We'll start with Marty, Miss Tennessee. Introduce yourself, ma'am.
Hello, I am Marty Burnett. I have been in business 20 plus years, started out at Remax, then moved to Keller Williams and are now at EXP. Trying to think how many years. I was 5 at Remax, 10 at KW. So that would put me 5 plus here at EXP. And I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. Super, 20 years of experience. Awesome. We'll learn a lot from you. Debbie, Miss New York.
Well, I am originally from New York City, but now I hail from Rochester, New York, which is Western New York. I'm going into my 22nd year of real estate. I have been with EXP almost 8 years. In fact, when I came over, there were not even 1,500 agents, and they actually had to find a broker in New York so I could come over with a couple people from my team. So it's been a wonderful ride, and I'm working on my 8th time icon right now.
8th time icon. So we all are excited to hear from you because that's an achievement. I have heard people 1, 3, 4, 5 times. You are a role model. I think I met you in EXPCon and EXP Shareholder Summit, if I remember right. But moving to Deanne, Miss Maryland.
Yes, my name's Deanne Melnick. I'm in Rockville, Maryland, right outside the DC metro area. I'm licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and have been in real estate. This will be my 23rd year. I've been with EXP for the last almost 3 years, and I am like 1 deal away from my 3rd icon. So.
3rd icon. Feel like I am the youngest one here in the panel. Okay, Jeanette, not in the age, guys, in the experience. Okay, you guys are younger than me. Okay, Jeanette, Miss Southern Carol from South Carolina.
Yes, that's correct. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, which is in the center part of the state. I've been licensed for 21 years. And I followed a simple path as Marty did. I was with Remax and then Keller Williams, and I'm going into my 5th year with EXP, and I just iconed for the 4th time. So I'm really excited to be part of this organization and here with everybody today.
Thank you so much, all of you, and four times icon, Jeanette. Wow. So number one thing, you all are successful. I'm sure the audience and whoever watching us on YouTube, I'll learn a lot from you guys. So my number 1 question will be, what was the biggest challenge you faced in your real estate career, and how?
It looks like we lost Sunny there for a second, but we'll bring him back. I happen to know his question. So what was the biggest challenge you faced in your real estate career, and how did you overcome it? Let's start with Debbie.
Sorry.
I knew you were. Oh, wait, Sunny, want to talk? Is Sunny back?
Sonny's back.
So sorry. What happened? I don't know. Okay. So I'm so sorry, guys. I'm back. So what was the biggest challenge you faced in your real estate career, and how did you overcome it? Debbie? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. I
I-
can't hear
I-
Debbie.
I am here. So I knew you were going to ask me first, and I have this quote that Mahatma Gandhi says, and I'm not 100% sure how it goes. I never can remember quotes. I always have to look them up, but it goes something like this: first they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. Okay, and I can remember going through real estate. You know, I was with Century 21, I was with a local firm, I was with Remax, I was with KW, and then I came over to EXP. And it seemed like every time I went to a new company, I would get these remarks. Oh, you know, this company's this company. And the same thing that happened when I came over to EXP. And I can remember my first year of real estate, I did really well because it was probably the worst financial time in my husband and my personal life. And failure was not going to be an option. And I sold 38 homes. And I know that sounds like a lot of homes, but our price points at that point were like 20, 30, and 40,000. So I was doing a lot of grunt work. And I remember sitting at an attorney's office saying, what if this doesn't happen again? So kind of going through the whole, what if it doesn't happen again? And then I had to shift my mindset to say, you know what? Yeah, maybe it is a little bit of changing my persona, saying it is going to happen again, and thinking very confidently and very positively about it. So that for me was a turning point.
Awesome. Yeah, the statement was really right. Mahatma Gandhi once said that first the world will laugh at you, then they will start, I think, talking about you, and then they will start following you when you are successful. And thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
Moving to Marty.
Yes, so I'm having to think back. There have been so many challenges, and I think probably the most helpful that I could share in all of those. I mean, there's a lot, but the biggest one I think was getting used to the market shifts. And that's where you have to dig back into education, especially in our area in Nashville. We came off a 2-year, like crazy market as far as, listings and having things flying off the shelf. And, we were balancing multiple offers and all this kind of stuff. And then as the market starts to level back out, you've got sellers staring at you going, oh my gosh, it's been 3 minutes and my house is still on the market. What is happening? And so I think the biggest challenge for me, and I've learned it well over the years, is to watch the patterns, and of course, after 20 years, you can see the patterns, but learn really quickly to watch those patterns. And if you're not familiar with what that's looking like, stay in these types of panels, stay in the education piece, because your older folks or your people that have been in the business for a while will be able to tell you, like, hey, this is what I see coming. Everything that goes up has to come down. And so I think it was just adjusting to that, especially in mid-listing agreement. So you come in, you've got this listing agreement, you're coming from a booming market, and then all of a sudden you get caught in that shift. It happened to us with about 5 listings in the last year, where the market really started to take a shift, and also learn the patterns throughout the year. It's always a good time to sell a house, but there are patterns when you get around holiday times and things like that. The quicker you can learn how to adjust your scripts, your strategies, and things for that, the less stressful this business will be for you, and the better you will be able to serve your clients.
That's superb. I love that. Watch the pattern. And moving next to Deanne.
Yes. So all of us on this panel have been in real estate a long time and have definitely seen some ups and downs. I would say my personal biggest challenge was moving markets. So I started my real estate career in the Austin area and then moved to DC in 2005. I was here for about 5 years, and here during the worst market we had experienced. And then I moved back to Texas, and then I moved back here. And so kind of starting my business over each time was definitely a challenge. I think I got better at it every time. I definitely tried to diversify. I think that's one thing that is a great tip for new agents. If you find that, you know, right now the buyer market is challenging. If let's say you're working with first-time buyers that don't have money to pay compensation, and you're in a seller's market and sellers aren't offering it, and you have these challenges, learn to work listings, learn to work rentals, learn to work, you know, what is moving in the market and where your strengths are. So
Awesome. That is an amazing advice. Moving market and challenges. So moving to Jeanette.
For me, over the years, it's been just feeling overloaded. I try to be very reactive to clients and always return calls, and I feel like I'm on 24/7. So over the course of my career, I've really had to work on trying to manage that feeling of feeling overloaded and not being that Pop-Tart agent, as they say. Someone calls you on a sign, I'm sitting out in front of the house, can you show it to me right now? And just gritting my teeth and not breaking away and running and showing that home. So over the course of the years I've been in the career, it's really been just focusing on boundaries and not letting the industry, you know, dictate my life. And that's a hard thing to do when you're a real estate agent.
Thank you so much for sharing. My biggest challenge was when I was coming in real estate 4.5 years ago. I was managing 2 busy hotels, and how to keep my mind and focus as a part-timer that time in real estate. And thanks to my wife who was helping me in hotel business, that it was just about mindset. I was able to manage the hotel, also meet the occupancy of 98% both the hotels, and was doing really good in real estate as well. So end of the day, it's all about mindset. Moving to the next question, guys. Can you share a key habit or a daily habit which you guys follow, which has contributed to your success as an ICON agent? And we will go to Miss Marty for this answer.
I'm sorry, somehow you broke up on the question. What was the question? I apologize.
Marty, the question is, can you share a key habit or daily habit that has contributed to your success as an ICON agent?
Okay, gotcha. Sorry. Okay, so for me, you guys, I'm probably not a great example of the daily habits. I'm a mom of 3, and we run multiple businesses, and my husband's a builder, so we're kind of crazy. But one thing I can say, for the most successful times in my career over the 20 years, and I got I can't remember where I even got this advice, probably a class or something. And it's keeping real estate front of mind. And that is talking to people about real estate on a daily basis. Set a goal. I'm going to talk to so many people about real estate. And you think, how am I going to do that? And it's actually really easy once it's top of mind. I mean, you can be standing in a grocery line and somebody said, and you can look over and say, oh my gosh, those look like really comfortable tennis shoes. I sell real estate and I'm on my feet all day. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, everybody wants to talk about real estate. So that was one of those habits of always turning the conversation to real estate. And it always leads to, oh my gosh, do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell, or how can I help you? Or do you know somebody in your neighborhood? So that was just been something over the years that I have always done. And it has helped keep my business really steady, just keeping it front of mind and always trying to turn the conversation to real estate and talking to people about those things.
100% right, Marty. Talking to people and telling that we are realtor and not paying a role of secret agent. On my car also, I always have my Instagram so people can initiate the talk. And when people ask me, how are you doing? I always start with, I'm always sunny and amazing. Those kind of things lead to conversation. And once you start any kind of conversation, then of course you will start talking about real estate, So and moving to Debbie, the 8-time ICON. Ma'am, we want to hear your daily habits that has contributed to your success of 8-time ICON agent.
Well, I'm not an 8-time ICON yet. I'm working on that. I'm 07 right now. And Martha, I want to tell you what you said was so spot on. You have to know your audience, and you cannot be a secret agent, and you've got to always somehow. There's always a way when you can figure out. I'm certified with DISC, so I study DISC and I study people, and it's so important that you know who your audience is, so that this way you can start to build that rapport up amazingly. But for me, it is time blocking. I am a huge time blocker. I time block everything. Brian, I hope you don't mind. I'll share with you. I was not originally supposed to be here, and Brian called me up this morning. Well, he sent me a message and said, "Hey, Debbie, can you be here?" And I looked at my calendar and I said, "You know what? You're in a pinch. I'm here to help out. I want people to learn." And so I swapped a couple things around in my calendar, but I time block everything. And I actually go first thing in the morning after my prayer and meditation. I post an affirmation to all my different group chats that I have. And then after that, I go back into my time blocking and I audit my calendar, what I did yesterday that wasn't planned. But I am a stickler with time blocking. If it says that I'm going to be working on my business between these hours and this hours, that is exactly what I'm doing. If somebody calls me up and said, "Hey, I need you to come list your house," I will give them some options. But if they say, "I need you to come over tonight," I will probably say, "I have a previous commitment, but I could come tomorrow or the following day." So I'm really huge on time blocking. And I think that's so important because in this business, you don't want the business running you. You want to be running your business. So I eat dinner with my husband every night because it is time blocked. Breakfast and lunch, I pretty much eat by myself, but I do have that time blocked. So to me, that has what's worked the best.
I need that time block in my life. I don't block time. So that's a great thing to learn from you. And we also want to thank you for coming at the last moment. We told you this morning, I think.
It's okay. It's really my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Deanne, what can you share the key habit or daily habit that has contributed to your success as an ICON agent?
Yeah, for me, it's really just about staying in touch with my clients and past clients. This is, I think, a mistake I made early in my career was I would sell houses and then move on to the next. And I think part of that came from, I started my career working for a production builder. So we were very much about numbers. It was turn and burn. It was, you have to write a contract every week. And that mindset didn't really translate well into real estate because I feel like it's much more about the relationship you have. And so the very first thing I do every morning is go on social media and connect with at least 10 people in their DMs, commenting on their things, not just liking, but making a personal comment. Because what I find is that when you know someone and you know what's going on in their personal life, those personal life reasons are the reasons people move. New baby, new job, death in the family, those sorts of things. And being a part of those experiences with people are the reason why you stay top of mind for them and they call you and refer you to other people when they have those same experiences.
Thank you so much. Yes, I 100% support that. Staying in touch with the past client, that is what I follow till date. Even the client whom I helped 4 years ago, I make sure on a Christmas time I visit them or occasionally I call and check with them. That's the good thing. Thank you so much. Jeanette, what do you think? What is your key habit and a routine that has contributed to your success as an ICON agent, ma'am?
Well, I would say that the answer is really twofold. First, touching on what everyone has said, there's a line that just continues, and that's consistency. You've got to be consistent with what you're doing. And for me, over the years, my business really propelled when I realized it was bigger than me. And I got a business coach and I started doing coaching, which helped me elevate my business to the next level. If you can't, get a coach for your business, then find a mentor. I love how we're cloud-based, but it also can make this be a little lonely sometimes. So if you can find a mentor or an accountability partner, it really can help you elevate your game.
So much. Yes, consistency is the key. Okay, moving to next question. Now, what advice would you give to a new agent who is struggling to close their first deal? And we'll go to Marty for the answer.
Yeah, starting off, and it's been a long time ago for me, but starting off is tough. And if you're, and I guess it depends on your situation. That's kind of a really broad question. If you have a sphere That's the way I built my business. People that know, like, and trust me. And I do a lot of networking. If that's not your situation and you're somewhere where you don't know anybody, then you have to start building that sphere. So that's, or you have to do, internet leads. And that's not my favorite because and I know that's a lot of people are really good at that. I'm not. That's one of those things where you got to kiss a lot of frogs before you get one to come together. If you're really struggling with that, it's not a bad idea to seek out a team that hands out leads or helps with leads, and then coaches you in how to do that. And a lot of brand new agents will go on a team for the first, year or so, learn what they need to learn, and then break off. And I think a good team leader realizes that there's a flow like that, or an EXP getting in that mentor program, so it's can mentor you through. But the big thing about building that client base is those connections and having a network of people to ask for referrals. Otherwise, you're really at the mercy of, some of the online things, unless you get out and networking groups, Chamber of Commerce. Another great place to meet people and try to get referrals in business, I feel like, is if you have a charity that you're passionate about, sitting on a committee or a board, there places where you're interacting with people and getting to know them so that they like and trust you. So I'm big on, all my business is repeat and referrals. So that's kind of what I go back to.
Hugh, Marty, that remind me of a quote that says, "Courage is not absence of fear. Courage is conquest of fear." We all fear in life, but we have to move forward with the faith that there is a win, and whatever is happening for a reason. Moving to Debbie, 7th-time icon, ma'am. What do you think about it? You want me to repeat the question?
No, I have the question. And you know what? I can't agree with more the speaker who just spoke. Working on your sphere, that's going to always bring you in business. And if you don't know how to work on your sphere, find somebody that can help you. When I first got into the business, I was a solo agent. I wanted to join a team. There were no really teams back then, were nothing to think of. And so I just started reading a lot of books, and I got a coach right away. And then I became a coach. And I think that combined with working with getting a coach, combined with working on your sphere or having a mentor, as I'm sorry, I can't remember who just spoke, but, especially being—
It was Marty.
Marty. Sorry, Marty. Thank you. Especially with being in a cloud-based, company, that sometimes you do have that feeling of, you're out on an island by yourself. And that's the last thing that we all should be feeling, because we are such a really close group of people. You can reach out to anybody through workplace or workplace chat, and get some information. But if you're a brand new agent, if there's a team that you think that you have a good fit with, I think that would be the great thing, because realistically, everybody wants to icon, and it's not going to happen in your first year. I doubt it. It could, but unless you've been an experienced agent and don't need a mentor. But if you're a brand new agent, it's really important to align yourself with something that's going to help you move forward. So mentor program is great, getting a coach, and just reaching out or joining a team. So I have the same views as Marty does.
For that, so I'm just saying, so books, mentor, and team, that will help us. Deanne, what do you think about it?
Yeah, so my advice for new agents would be, first of all, show up and treat it like a business. I think a lot of people get into real estate thinking, oh, it's flexible, I can set my own schedule, but then they forget to work, and it's a job. And I think that there are so many opportunities in EXP to show up and learn. There are, instances like this with ICONversations where you can learn from experienced agents. There's the mentor program. There's so much training online. There's the ability to sit open houses. As a new agent, ask to shadow your mentor or someone else in your office that you see is doing a lot of business. I know I would be happy to have people come along with me, for showings or home inspections or whatever, to just learn the business. And I often tell new people, they're like, well, I don't have time. It's like, well, what else are you doing? Like, if this is your full-time job, you need to make it such, and time block, as someone suggested earlier. And even if it's just waking up in the morning and saying, okay, today I'm going to go look at 5 houses and learn this particular neighborhood, that's your job for the day. So.
Awesome, awesome. So treat it as a job. And there is one saying, once when student is ready, teacher appears. So if you're ready, there will be always people around you who are ready to teach you. Moving to Janet, Miss Southern South Carolina.
So I would say use social media. Social media is so powerful right now, and most everybody has a platform. So when I work with new agents and I guide them, I always say, how's your social media looking? What are you doing on social media? Have you set up a YouTube channel? Because social media is incredibly powerful. Everyone is online, Googling, researching, and it's a way that you can start to build your business, that your cost is your time. You don't have to go and spend thousands of dollars for leads, and it can be incredibly effective.
Social media is actually the new form of requirement. It's not just a tool, it's necessity for our business. I truly believe, and I make videos and talk about on social media all the time. And if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me, and happy and lucky man if you guys are here. And so moving to next one, how do you maintain a positive mindset during tough times in this market, especially what we are going through, the change from tomorrow, 17th is tomorrow. So we'll go to Debbie for this answer first.
So, okay, I want to address this, but very carefully. What's happening in the market right now, the only change that it will be for me is that they're no longer going to publish the MLS fee. I have never worked my business where I've gone into a client and said, this is the commission and I keep half and I pay half out to the buy side. So this whole NAR thing is not anything new to me. In fact, I just had words with an attorney today. We were an attorney state where they sent out a commission statement and it said, commission statement to be received, estimated 6%. And I said, they can't say that. They could never say that. And I've told them that multiple times because, again, it's all negotiable. So that is not going to change anything in my business. Was there a second part of that question? And one thing that I did just hear on Big Agent Meeting, for those of you that were here or weren't there, is that open houses might become more prevalent. And that because people know that they can come in there and not have to be represented. They could be an unrepresented buyer, so therefore they won't be asked to pay a commission. But I've always done buyer's agency agreements since I got into the business. Did that answer the question? I don't know if it did.
Yes, I think the question was, how do you maintain a positive mindset during the tough times in the market?
So right now, that's where I was going. Sorry, I'm old. I forget things. So right now, with all this stuff going on, it's so important to keep a positive mindset. So I do a lot of meditation. I do yoga classes. I think that those things are really helpful. And I think it's very helpful to speak to a lot of people that are in the industry that are or are not doing what we're supposed to have always been doing or what we haven't been doing, to make sure that they're in a positive mindset also.
Debbie? Debbie?
It appears Debbie's audio went out for a second there. So, Sunny, if you want to move to the next person.
Yes. So what Debbie was saying is 100% true. Meditation, starting your morning, like I'm a huge fan of waking up early in the morning and having a right mindset to prepare for the day. So we'll ask the same question to Mati. How would you maintain a positive mindset during tough times in the market?
Okay, so again, being in the market as long as I have, I've seen all the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. And again, I think it is learning how to shift in the markets. And as the markets shift, digging back into education. So in the tough markets, as far as that goes, having planned education and consistent lead generation so that you're constantly having appointments and think, I mean, I'm a firm believer of staying busy. And I don't mean staying busy doing things that aren't like busy work, but staying busy with appointments and things. I mean, if you churn hard enough, those deals are going to pop up. Now, you may have to go on 5 appointments and only 3 of them pop out, because the market has shifted or it's just not the right time for someone. I'm also a big firm believer in devotionals. I love my daily devotionals. I love my candles and my essential oils. So just on a personal note, I have things that keep me in the best mindset that I can be. I tune out all negative news and media with a lot of the stuff that's been happening. Shift changes in our market, even right now. I shut out the noise and I focus on my job, which is finding buyers and sellers and investors and people that want to buy and sell real estate. And if I stay laser focused and I shut out the noise and I get my essential oils and my candles and maybe my yoga mat, or maybe it is an afternoon to salt spa, you have to take care of you, because that negativity can come in on you from a personal level, but from a professional level, stay focused, pick up an extra class, pick up an extra, ICONversation somewhere to get ideas to keep you focused on what you're doing.
So awesome. Stay focused. That is the main advice. And that remind me another quote which said, when going get tough, the tough get going. So it's all about mindset. If I think this market will kill my business, then 100% will kill my business. But if I think, on the other hand, that this market I will be the one who my business will be where I've never been, and that will be true. So it's all about what our mindset is. I think Debbie is back. Debbie, you want to finish what you were saying that time?
Oh, I'm not really sure what part did you hear?
How do you maintain a positive mindset during a tough time in the market?
Okay. So what I started to say was about, that this NAR issue is not an issue for me, but it is an issue for a lot of other people. And I'll just abbreviate what I said earlier. And the thing is that you have to, every one of us, whether it's a sickness or death, an accident, bad transaction, a great client, we all look through these things with different lenses. And we have to make sure that the lens that we're looking through is one of positivity. And so some days it's harder to be positive than others, but we just want to make sure that we're out there and that we're representing what we are to the public in a very, very positive, most positive way possible that we can do that. For myself, it's doing yoga, it's going for exercising, I do meditation. I have a koi pond in my backyard, and I go out there every morning, I go out there every afternoon, and I reflect on what's happened during the day, and if there was anything that I could change to make it more positive, or something happening with my team member. And I remind them all that we look through different lenses. And I think that's the biggest message.
I 100% agree with you. Prepare yourself for the day. Moving to Jeanette. Jeanette, what do you think? How you maintain your positive mindset during a tough time in the market?
Well, in this question, the words positive mindset just resonate. And I find myself sometimes when I'm in a place where I'm not feeling as positive, telling myself that, saying, instead of I've got to, I get to. If I'm tired on a Sunday and I don't want to go show properties, I get out of my head and I say, I get to show today. Because what a blessing it is that we get the opportunities that we do to change lives and impact lives. So I think sometimes it's just controlling that self-talk. And also, don't compare yourself to others. Stop looking at other people and translating that into your perception of yourself for failure or success. Just focus on yourself and, doing your best every day and being the best version of you. And if you have a situation where, you're struggling, reach out to an accountability partner or another agent, in or out of the company, and let them be a source of support for you.
Thank you so much. Deanne?
So I always go back to about probably 2006 in the DC market. When I first moved here, we had just gone from about 7 days average on market to 17 days average on market, which at the time seemed like a huge shift for people. For me, I was coming from Texas where our average days on market was more like 50 at the time. So I thought 17, how wonderful. But there was a girl in my office who was new and had just gotten her license, and she had run into a friend at the grocery store, was telling her how she had just passed her test and she was so excited that she got her license. And a lady in front of her turned around and said, "Oh my gosh, what a terrible time to get your real estate license," knowing that the market had started to slow down. And without skipping a beat, she just fired back. She said, "Yeah, I know. No one's ever going to buy or sell a house ever again." And it really just stuck with me because it reminds me on a constant basis that there are always people that need our services. And coming from a place of confidence and knowing that what I provide to clients is a value, I help them with the largest transaction in their life. And I know that my knowledge and my expertise coming to that table with them can help them get a better deal, can make the process smoother for them. And just leaning back on my value as an agent really helps me stay positive because I know I'm truly helping people.
And thank you so much. I'm loving this panel. You all four ladies, I think that's the reason women are called powerful. And you are making my day so easy and so powerful for all of us who's listening. So we'll end it with this last question, which is, what's the one piece of advice you wish you had received earlier in your career? And we'll start with Debbie.
Well, it's a kind of a loaded question. Can you all hear me? Is my mic working again?
Yes, you're
Okay.
good.
Okay, that's kind of crazy. So, it's funny. I too, when I got into real estate, I had just finished a 25-year teaching career. Unfortunately, I taught in all schools that had absolutely no retirement. So I walked away with 25 years of great memories, but no retirement. And I decided one day I was going to go into real estate. And the negative comments that I, received, like, "Oh my gosh, most realtors don't make it, and it's going to take you 5 years to even get your first transaction," and stuff like that. So I wished that when I first announced that I was going into real estate, that there were more positive people around me that offered me great suggestions. The best thing that happened to me when I first got into real estate was the brokerage that I decided to go to, and it was Century 21, and I went there because the monthly fee was $10 a month, and it was the least expensive one, but I got the best training that I ever could have. And I still, to this day, when I see that broker, although he's very mad at me that I still left after all these years, he gave the best training. And I think the best training is the most important part of that, what got me to where I am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing. Jeanette, what do you think about the question?
I think for me, the advice that I wish someone had said to me was, I hate to go back on this, but to not try to do it alone also, and to have a coach or a mentor or an associate that you can lean on, that you can do things with. Just starting out in this career, it's overwhelming and you can feel like you're going in 50 different directions. So navigating it with someone with experience or that understands your path can make a huge difference. As you know, the failure rate for realtors is so high, but it doesn't need to be. If you look at the number of homes that sell nationally every year, there's enough opportunity for many of us out there.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Deanne, what one piece of advice you wish you had received earlier in your career?
I kind of alluded to this earlier, but it would be to diversify. Learn how to do everything. I got into the industry working with first-time home buyers because I worked with a production builder that was their target market. But over the years, I've learned that, sometimes that isn't the best target client because of market conditions making them not be the easiest. It doesn't mean you can't help them. It just means you want to learn other things so that you can diversify your business. Now that I've been in the industry for 20 years, I feel pretty confident that, whether it's an investor or a person looking to rent their first property, I can provide them with advice. And so it's just constantly being a student and learning, as the industry changes, as the markets change, learning more and more about your career.
Learning more and more. Yes, ma'am. That's true. Marty, what one piece of advice you wish you had received earlier in your career, ma'am?
I agree with everything everyone has said, and they're all spot on. The one thing that I can think of just offhand, especially if and it's never too late to start this, but I wish that somebody had told me from the beginning, like, start out organized. This is a business. Start it as a business. Have your checking accounts, your accounting in place, all your business practices, as if you were running a mega team with 14 agents underneath you, because you got to know what your goal is. But if you start at that place completely organized, it's so much easier to grow. It's tough when you grow and then you're working backwards to try to get all those systems in place. So start organized, start like you have a team of 15 people with you, and map that out from the beginning. And then that piece will be taken care of when your business catches up. And that's one thing I wish somebody had told me from the beginning, all the way down to whether you do, Google Docs or Dropbox or anything like that. Start out from the beginning, completely organized, because I'm telling you, when you get to 20 years like I am and you're trying to find photos that you had from my house 10 years ago, if I had started in that place, it would all be right at my fingertips. So I think if I could turn back time, that's exactly what I would do.
So to answer this question from my point of view, thank you so much, first of all, Marty, for the, awesome advice. But what I will say, everything is waiting for you. Keep going with your chin up, chest up, and you know that there is everything waiting for you. Whatever you want is possible. Nothing is impossible. On that note, guys, thank you so much to all powerful ladies for being here today. Thank you so much, EXP, for giving this opportunity. Thank you, Brian, for your hard work. Thank you, audience, for being there and listening to us. And thank you, YouTube. So I will end up on my style, which is, you all know, I request you all, if you are on your chair or something, please stand up. So when I say spread happiness, you will move your right hand. When I say spread kindness, you will move your left hand. And when I say don't forget to dance, you'll move your both the hands. So get ready, guys. Are you guys all ready? Debbie?
Yeah. I don't
Yes,
know if
let's go.
I don't know if I had to know how to move my right or my left hand.
I was
No
just
problem.
thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know
I don't even know if I have hands.
So just imagine, okay.
Do we have hands?
spread,
Yeah, that's a good point. Do we have
spread
hands?
happiness. Spread happiness, spread kindness, and don't forget to dance. Over and out to Brian.
Sunny, you are the best. I love the way that you ended that. All of you, thank you so much for joining this panel today. Thank you all for joining in.